Alright, fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And, we're kicking off the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And, I'm a little bit late with this. I'm just recording this week. But I did watch the episode when it premiered last week. But, new season kicked off. They're still doing the whole Inhumans thing. Just to give my overall thoughts before I get to what happened in the episode. The initial, start of it was pretty good. Like, last season ended off with Coulson killing Ward, the whole thing with the alien planet, so that was pretty cool. But it kind of left off with the whatever inhuman creature on this planet was somehow infesting Ward's body and somehow magically appearing on Earth. I don't know how they're going to explain that. I know they're probably saving that for like the main draw of this part of the season, probably. They'll probably explain that later, but they're still doing the whole Inhuman thing. More Inhumans are popping up all over, and the team is in Colombia investigating something. It was like had something to do with guns or something like that, and they basically came across this Inhuman named Yo-Yo in the comic books, who could basically has limited super speed, I guess you can classify her as having. She has super speed in the span of, let's say, one heartbeat, but she always snaps back to her original position. It's not like the Flash where you could just run all around anywhere you want. Let's say in 0.5 seconds, she has to go back to where she started from. So, but it was, at least to me, it didn't come across as the running start I hoped it would have. Everything is still there. The team still has everything going for it as far as the dynamics between the characters, things like that. It's just that nothing in the story is catching me so far, other than the Ward stuff. And that's not to say that it's bad, but it's just, I don't know, because the first half of the season ended really, really strong with me. I was expecting this to kind of, get the ball and just go running for the goal with it, but that it didn't happen. It's like a slow burn almost. It's like, okay, we ended strong, but now instead of keeping that momentum going, they're just trying to introduce new inputs into the story and things like that. But I think with the whole Inhuman thing, since the whole Terrigenesis and the fish pills and everything like that, they've been doing there's a new Inhuman popping up in this episode. It's, at least to me, it's becoming redundant because it's not going anywhere. Like in this episode, just to break down what happens, they meet this one super speed Inhuman. She's trying to stop the corrupt police in her country from taking guns and being corrupt and stuff. So she's stealing the guns from them so that they can't use them, and S.H.I.E.L.D. thinks that she's stealing them to, I guess, become a militia person or something to go against her local government, but she's not. She's just doing it because the government's corrupt as hell. And they eventually work together. Hydra, Ward, and what's the guy's name? Malik, I believe, the evil guy that was in the Avengers movie as far as the World Council. Man, he looks evil as hell. That's like like everything he plays in. Maybe that's why he always playing like a bad guy or something. But they come in at the last episode and basically scoop up the Inhumans that the police had working for them. They had this one guy who could, let's say, look at you and paralyze you for, let's say, a few hours. 8 to 15 hours or something like that. And they had to break into the police station, and once they became cool with the super speed chick, she basically helped them do that, and then they confronted that guy, then they beat him. But before they could take him into custody, Hydra came in there and kidnapped him. And he did something to him. I don't know what he did, but it's almost like Ward's flesh peels off and then goes into the person that he's targeting. And I think at the end of this episode, it went into the guy who had, the Inhuman with the eyes. And I don't know if that's allowing him to control his personality so he does what he wants. That's what I think it does. But they haven't got very descriptive as far as what's happening. But ever since then, he's working with Ward and, and Malik and everybody else. So, when originally he didn't. And that's pretty much where the episode ended. I mean, nothing really big happened. It was just, oh, new Inhumans pop up. We got to go get them, or we got to stop them. That kind of sort of thing. I wish they'd have done a whole lot more character-wise. Maybe showed more of Ward being whatever he is, because that's the biggest draw that they left off on. And it looks like they're gonna pad that out, because even after watching next week's episode, because I'm recording this, like I said before, a week late, they still pad that out. They draw it out because it's of what I assume it's gonna be like. That's the main selling point of the season, is figuring out what this entity is in Ward and what it's gonna do, and all of that, and why is it there, and all that kind of sort of stuff. So who knows? I hope they get into that more in depth quickly, sooner rather than later, because if they wait till like the last 2 or 3 episodes of the season, then what's the point? I hope they explain it like 5 or 6 episodes in, and then towards the season finale have them do something else that's bigger and better, and then end off on a really high note. But anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts on this week's episode. Be on the lookout. In an hour or so, I'm going to probably upload another commentary video talking about this week's episode, or the second episode of the newer part of the season, I should say, in a couple hours. So be on the lookout for that. My name is Denonu, the man with black privilege, and I'll see you guys in the next episode review. Peace out.